open world games have been the newest craze. Breath of the Wild, The Witcher 3, Dragon Age Inquisition, Fallout 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, and more have all been critically acclaimed specifically for their open world. Why is this? Is it our primal need to explore and forge our own path? I don't know, but a lot of reviewers say that open world games are so amazing because of their sense of freedom. These games allow for creative playstyles and invite players to play their own way. In fact, many games have been criticized for being too narrow, specifically Naughty Dog's games that are heavily story-oriented and create the illusion that the player has freedom. It's hard to say whether open-world games are amazing because of their ability to let me burn down a village with my own two hands, but the fact of the matter is that games nowadays pride themselves in allowing for various ways to play. Recently I played Dishonored 2, and despite me trying my best to be as stealthy as possible, silently ghosting my enemies one by one as I stick to the shadows, I would always be caught somehow and explode in a flurry of counterattacks and multi-kills. This would always make me disappointed. I hated being caught, but why was that? After all, the game shoves it down the player's throat that one can play their own way. The reason I felt bad for being caught was not because I wanted to be stealthy. In fact, killing people and creating mass conflict was incredibly satisfying. Rather, I found myself disappointed because the game would judge me if I didn't play stealthily. Before the earlier missions would start, the game would encourage you to play your own way. In the Peggy trailer for the game, the developer said they have included a massive amount of ways to go about the game through clever level design and character powers. This is true. I don't want to sound like this game is incredibly linear. Rather, I'm talking about how the game, like a big bully, judges your performance at the end of each level. It has a chaos measurement, lethality checklist, stealth checklist, and graph that displays your playstyle. Except, the only things on the checklist are stealth mechanics. Really hard stealth mechanics, in fact. It tallies up your total kills with big fat red X's and crosses everything out if you fail to complete it. All of the lethal statistics are shown in a bright red color, showing the player their failures right in front of their face. The aggressive color and lack of any lethal missions suggests that the player should play stealthily. It certainly made me feel bad when I saw it. I thought I played the game wrong in a game where you supposedly play your own way for every mission. This game isn't even the worst offender of this subtle mockery. Other stealth games have also particularly passive-aggressive grading at the end of missions as well. For example, Metal Gear Solid 5. As the ultimate stealth experience, and being a series known for playing a style fitting that of Secret Agent, it came as a surprise to find that Metal Gear Solid 5 was turning to an open-world format. Of course, the play-your-own-way mantra became associated with the game for its incredibly detailed soldier routes, day and night mechanics, advanced AI, and more. The game was marketed as one where it wanted the player to truly play in any manner they would like, which was emphasized by the hundreds of pounds of explosive weapons they could carry at one time. The game wanted the player to force all hell to break loose, or so it seemed. At the end of every mission, the player is greeted to a mission summary, similar to Dishonored 2, that shows the mission stats including stealth kills, how many times spotted, etc, etc. Except, Metal Gear Solid 5 takes some extra steps to judge the player. The player is shown a big letter grade based on your stats and a codename for that mission. And let me tell you, after playing like Rambo and having D-Dog kill everything in sight, I never received an A. In fact, you can only receive the highest letter grade by never being spotted and not killing anyone, along with completing any side objectives, which usually deal with only stealth mechanics. Yes, some of the codenames can have violent specific tasks, but it makes me feel really small when I get codename Fly or something for killing people. For a game that prides itself for having many ways to play, that pushes the player to experiment with different play styles, why does it punish you for going off script, playing your own way? I get it. There has to be something for the hardcore fans, but why couldn't there be violent requirements along with stealth requirements for an S rank? Dishonored 2 has no system like that, and Metal Gear Solid 5 is not relevant enough to make up for the constraints amongst gameplay. One game that does this well is Breath of the Wild. There is no ranking system. For once, no other character telling you how to play, just the player and the world. The game wants the player to attack situations through stealth or action based off their intuition and understanding of the gameplay mechanics. Many strategies would be completely valid, whether it be stealthily taking out foes one by one, going straight on to battle, or hitting everyone with a metal box. The game never commented on your playstyle or pushed you to play a certain way. That's why this game feels so free. The game lives up to its promise of letting players play their own way. Open world games are a unique genre that has given players an environment to utilize unlike any before. They have provided a completely unique experience over the years, yet they continue to constrain players in ways that are completely contradictory. An adventure game with many ways to attack an event shouldn't push the player to one direction. Games like Breath of the Wild encourage divergent thinking. It challenges players to think of every possibility within the world. I doubt that game developers expected players to fly on a horse over a campsite to bomb them like a plane, but players did it anyways. That is the beauty of truly being able to play your own way, and games should follow through with their promises of complete player freedom.